Hi, everybody. It's Heather with Reflecting Inward Life Coaching, and welcome back to our final video on my personal career profile. Hopefully, you've already been through the first 4 videos. Just as a recap, video 1, we did self discovery. Video 2, we did career exploration. Video 3, we did reaching out to individuals in the community to make connections and to interview them. So, career expert interviews. And video 4, we talked about what to do if you're not finding the right fit through mynextmove.org, or if you're finding multiple fits and you just don't know where to start. Welcome back. This is video 5, the final video for my personal career profile. So let's jump in. Okay, so I mentioned in the previous video Ikigai, what Ikigai is. And so we want to jump into that a little bit more now. So let's take a look. If you click on the blue link, again, it takes you to the webpage. And this is a Venn diagram of what Ikigai is. Ikigai is a Japanese concept meaning a reason for being. So as you can see in the Venn diagram, we have 4 main values here. What you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at. Now, combining these can get you different results. For example, what you love combined with what the world needs is a mission. What the world needs combined with what you can be paid for is a vocation. What you can be paid for combined with what you are good at is a profession. And what you are good at combined with what you love is your passion. Now, I have met people, both as a coach and not, who feel like they don't have any particular mission in life. And that's perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, it might be preferable for some people. It might be a little bit easier in some cases, because I've met quite a few people who feel like they do have a mission, they have a life purpose, and they feel stuck because they don't have the resources, the connections, the clout, the community to help them figure out how to actually achieve their mission. So they may go for years and years and years feeling like there's something else they should be doing and they just can't do it. And that has stressed out a lot of people and really led to even depression for some of them. So if you feel like you don't have a particular mission or life purpose, in some ways you may have hit the jackpot. So if you, for example, that may be that you didn't have a combination of what you love combined with what the world needs. And so you may love something if the world doesn't need it, and it's something that you're good at, it might be your passion. And this is where we have a lot of these cultural naysayers like, oh, sure, you're an excellent violinist. It's what you love and it's what you're good at. It's your passion. But only so many people can be paid for it. You're not going to be able to get paid for that. And then all of a sudden you feel just discouraged because maybe people are pushing you toward a different path that you don't love and that you're not good at. And at that particular, and that may be, you may land yourself in a career that is what the world needs and what you can be paid for, which is the majority of the world is just out there with a job they can be paid for. And it's what the world needs, even if it's not an actual need, like entertainment is not specifically a need, but you can be paid for it. And if it's what the world says they need, because they'll pay you for it, then that becomes a vocation. You may not have a life purpose, a mission. You may not feel like you can have your work in your passion. And so then work or a career becomes a vocation. And so the goal here is, with the Ikigai, is to find where all of them overlap. What do you love that the world needs, that can be paid for, and that you're good at? Because then you will have be working toward your mission and your passion, and it will be a vocation and a profession. So it's all of them combined is the Ikigai. Okay. So this is what do you get up for in the morning besides just to pay your bills? Okay. So let's take a look. Once you go through this, and I really, really strongly suggest that you take some good time to look at this and do not get discouraged. Just really, truly focus on it. Really, truly think about it. Compare it to the careers that you've narrowed down, and maybe you've narrowed it down to 1, 2, maybe 3. And you're trying to really narrow down to that one that potentially could have your Ikigai within it. I also wanted to touch on briefly, if you have 3 there and you're not sure which one to choose from, all of them could potentially be your Ikigai. Do they relate in some way? Is it possible that you could make a life plan that includes all 3 of them? I know a lot of people, especially in America, there's this belief that, it's an unconscious belief, encouragement to go to college, get your degree, and stay in that profession. You may bump around to different jobs, but stay in that profession until you retire. That's safety, right? So what I want you to consider is it possible and even okay to make a life plan that includes all 3 of these professions? And what order would they best flow in order for you to reach your ultimate goals? Okay, because they may actually bring learning experience that scaffolds, that builds you up to actually, in the end, having that 3rd career option, profession, that ultimately gets you your Ikigai. Okay, so you could even work toward it. That is called not having a specific expectation that aligns with what culture and society expect of you. For example, I used to work many years ago when I was starting out in college. I worked at a wedding invitation company. And let me tell you this. There are some bridezillas out there, and they tend to be more of a zilla if they have a very specific set plan, very specific expectations, and they have no flexibility. And then they have a perfect vision for their wedding. And if any part of it fails, then the entire thing is a complete mess and there's blame and everything else. So what I want you to consider is be flexible with where you go. Choose one that you feel like is a really, truly good place to start, and then allow yourself to develop into other things as you learn more about what you like and what you don't like in that industry. And maybe along the way, you'll find some things that need to be tweaked, and maybe you can be the forerunner to tweak those things and make that career field even better. Okay, so once you've taken a really good look at Ikigai, come back to my personal career profile. And the question is, my Ikigai is this. That's the career of your choice. And if you didn't find it on mynextmove.org, maybe you had to create your own actual job. Maybe you're starting your own business and you're still not exactly sure how to start that, how to do that. First, side note, if you want to start your own business and you're not sure how to do that, Google it. Not just Google how to start a business, but Google nonprofit organizations that help you start your own business, because I know that there are some out there that will actually hold your hand and guide you, especially if the company you want to start is aiding your local community in some way, because there are nonprofits out there who want to build communities, to support and give resources to communities. Okay. So the career I've selected, the best fits my Ikigai. It does best fit my Ikigai because, so explain. This is going to be like the thought process you had trying to figure it out, put on paper. You're explaining yourself to yourself and in a sense to me because I need to understand where you're thinking, what you're thinking. The requirements for this career choice are, and if you're not particularly, if you can't just list them, go back to my next move. If you found your career my next move, and there's a section for requirements. Do you need to go to college? Do you need to do an apprenticeship? Do you just need experience? What do you need to do? This is part of your next steps. What do I need to do, right? Okay. If this career requires a degree or technical training, where can you get it? There are, if you look on My Next Move, there's a link you can go to find training for it, and it will show you universities that potentially offer the training you need. I would caution you, though, that if you go to, let's just say you go to Indeed or Monster or LinkedIn, and you go and you find your career title on there. You're looking at a job listing for it, okay? Look at what they require on the job listing. Of course, this could change in the next 10 years when you're actually out looking for a job, but if anything, it will give you a good outline for what you're looking toward. Okay, now when you do that, I want you to look and see if they require a specific degree program. Because I used to work at a for-profit university, and that for-profit university, what they did was they basically just said, oh, sure, you can become a graphic artist with this degree. We have some classes in here that will prepare you for that. But if you want to find a job as a graphic designer, they don't take that degree that we were offering. We were encouraged to get them into the degree program, just to get them into the university. Yeah, deceiving, right? That's the reason why I ended up actually quitting that job. So take a look at what the requirements are on job listings, job postings, because they're going to give you a good idea of what degree program you're looking for. Because if you don't know what degree program you're looking for, all you're doing is looking at universities for cost. You need to know specifically what program you're looking for, and then you can weed out all the universities that don't offer that program. Okay, and of course, reach out if you have any questions about that or need some guidance, help finding these universities or training locations, okay? Look at what it will cost when you find these universities. Look at what it will cost for that education. And do not let this deter you. Do not let this discourage you. Because the very next question, what financial resources are available to help you pay for it? And you're thinking, I have no idea, right? I had students, high school students, who had given up on college because they didn't think they could afford it, and they had no idea the Pell Grant existed. P.S. If you don't know what the Pell Grant is, it's money the government gives you because you don't have a lot of money that you don't have to pay back. You do have to use it specifically for tuition and fees, but you don't have to pay it back because you don't have that much money, so they're helping you. They didn't know about this. And because they didn't know about it, they gave up. So check out these 2 resources that I created specifically to help you if this is your challenge. The first thing is minimizing the cost of attending college. And this resource does 2 things. It helps you figure out how to maximize your time, especially if you have a family, or you have to hold multiple jobs. So you're not sure what time you could possibly have to fit in a higher education. And I'll give you a hint. A big part of that is if you don't have to go to campus, if you can get it online, do it online. Even if you can only do your associate's degree the first 2 years online, do it online. Get a head start. Move forward. Okay. The second half of it is how to minimize cost. Okay. So then there are steps. If you go down to the bottom, it'll actually give you specific examples of everything. And then, where to find cheap books for textbooks. Don't buy them from the bookstore. They're full cost, especially if you can't return them after you're done. So in summary, there's a checklist here of things that you can do in order to minimize the cost and maximize your time. Okay. The next thing is scholarship opportunities. Oh, I love this, and I'm constantly adding to it. This is how to specifically search for specific scholarships to get you through college. So hopefully you don't have to pay a dime. That's our hope. But you need to be aware of the scholarships before you can apply for them, right? So first things first, talk to your financial aid officer at the university that you choose. Do not worry about knowing exactly where your money's going to come from before you apply to college. Okay? Apply to the university that has the program that you want, that has a fantastic faculty. Those are the teachers at university level. Do some research. There is a webpage called Rate My Professor, and you can go to that university and you can read the reviews of past students for universities and for professors at the universities. So take a good look, do some research. I'll tell you now, one of the most important things besides a piece of paper that may be required for a job, the most important thing you can do at school, at university, is make connections with faculty members, go to seminars, meet people that are guest speakers, get outside of just studying for your exams and meet people, because those are your connections. Those are the people that are going to get you a job later on because they like the conversation they had with you. Okay, so I digress. Talk to your financial aid officer at the university that you chose. Okay, they will have a list of the scholarships the university offers, and then here I have a list of all of the different websites you can go to that are databases full of scholarships for different purposes. So if you're a single mother, if you are Native American, if you are a first generation university attender, if you're going into one of the sciences, there are specific people who want to encourage people to go into the sciences, STEM. So there are scholarships for those individuals. There are just scholarships for a bunch of different types of groups of people. And so bring them your story, bring them who you are. There's also, I have a resource on the website also for university essays, and that's a great resource to use also for how to prepare an essay for a scholarship application. Okay, so these are all different websites. These are not individual scholarships. Some of them are, but some of them are also databases where you can search through thousands of scholarships, and it does have a way to narrow them down specifically for what you're looking for. So look at that. Don't be overwhelmed. So yeah, there are tons. And also I wanted to mention scholarships for studying abroad. Studying abroad is so valuable, not just for a resume, but also for your personal development, for getting to know a new culture, a new group of people, seeing different perspectives. It could shape the direction you go in your life in a good way. And so don't overlook studying abroad, especially when you're a young person, because I didn't know until I was too old for the programs that you can actually get a study abroad work permit for almost any country, and they will allow you to work in the country up until a certain age. And you have to just meet their requirements. So this is huge because if you're older trying to get a job in another country, maybe you want to have another experience, maybe you want to leave your home country and put down roots somewhere else, it can be actually quite challenging to get a work visa for another country. You have to be sponsored by a company. Or there's a lot of red tape if you have your own business and everything else. So this is just honestly an easy way. This is the easy path to get into another country to work and get paid to be there, to experience another country. So don't discount that. Anyway, lots of resources here to help you figure out how you're going to pay for it. And if you're still stuck, reach out. We will find a way. Okay. So some careers only require an apprenticeship. So, okay, how do I do that? Some apprenticeships are going to be paid. Some of them are not. But if you all you need is an internship or an apprenticeship, and that's where a career professional just kind of mentors you and guides you until you're ready, and then you can just get a job doing it. Like a welder, like welding is one of those. So how you find that is come to Reflecting Inward Life Coaching, go to free resources, click on career exploration, because that's what we're doing, and you're going to come down and look at that. Internships and apprenticeships. And there's a whole list of websites here where you can search for specifically apprenticeships or internships. Okay. Okay, the next section is important. The concerns or challenges I foresee as I move toward this career are, and I don't want you to get discouraged. I want you to be realistic, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a list of how we're going to overcome those challenges. I don't want you to think, oh, I don't see any challenges. Everything's going to be fine. Because as soon as that challenge appears, it may be easy to just be like, oh, this isn't the right thing. You haven't prepared yourself for the challenge. So think about anything that you could foresee based upon your experience, how your mind works, that could be a challenge as you move toward this career. And then what I need to do to overcome the challenge. If you've already chatted with me about overcoming limiting beliefs and you already have that process and you know how to utilize it, do that. Do it here. Do it now. This is when you use it. If not, chat with me, because we can take a look at the potential challenge and we can create a list of techniques, resources, and I could even teach you specific techniques if you're not familiar with them. Okay, so my next steps are to do this. You have your goal, you have your vision. What are my next steps? Okay, there's another resource for this, of course. And specifically, I want to point out, if you scroll down to setting goals, okay? Now, in this setting goals, what you want to experience in life, what you want to avoid in life, starting small, how do you move forward toward a big goal? You start small, make steps. Kind of like when you go to university and you have a whole bunch of classes you're required to take. And instead of looking at the whole, you break them out into semesters. And you don't put 400 level classes before 100 level classes, right? You got to build up to those 400 level classes, especially if it's math, physics, things like that. Okay. So start small. And what order are you going to go in? What order are your steps going to be? And then we have some suggestions here. Okay. So in particular, I want you to focus on the steps, the small steps for this one. Okay. Now we're nearing the end of this video. So I wanted to add some things to consider. Now, again, this is mostly a video to help those that are looking at career options while you're still in high school. These still apply to others. Just find the way to tweak it to be what you need, okay? So consider starting small. So set a goal to get all of your homework completed and turned in every day. And if this is overwhelming to you, I would suggest going to your teacher, explaining your goals, and maybe even involvement in this program that you're doing a mentorship to be successful and reach your career goals. And because of that, you're learning new skills and techniques. And ask your teacher if you can turn it in a day or two late. We're not talking about a week or a month late. We're talking about 1 or 2 days. Give her or him a specific time frame. I'm working on these goals. I'm learning to be more organized, and to be more efficient with my time. I was wondering if you would be all right, if it would be all right with you if I turned this assignment in on Wednesday, and it's Monday. Okay. By the end of the school day on Wednesday, can I turn this in without a late grade? If I promise to honor this. And honestly, if I had a student come to me and give me a time frame like that and explain the situation and what they're doing, I would say, thank you for taking this so maturely. I would be happy to accept this by Wednesday at the end of school. Just make sure, and this is me, Ms. Heather, talking now, make sure you honor this. Hold yourself accountable to this, because this is going to be evidence to them as to whether or not they can trust you in the future and whether or not you can be responsible for your decisions in your life. Okay. Next thing is asking you, you can consider asking your favorite teacher to mentor you while you're in the program. This means asking about your progress, discussing your challenges, brainstorming next steps, talking about your successes, and how they can help you specifically, especially if what you're struggling with is in their subject, okay? Which is the next thing. If you're needing more support in a specific subject that is necessary for you to get a good grade in to go to university, then ask that subject teacher for some time before or after school to reteach you in your own learning style, okay? So, okay, so your learning style is very important here, because it's the reason why so far you have not been able to grasp the concepts, the ideas. So your teacher is teaching perhaps even in 2 or 3 different learning styles. But if you're still not quite getting it, go to your teacher, share with them your gardener's intelligence, and ask them to share with you in a way that your brain works. I want to emphasize that there is nothing wrong with your brain. There is nothing wrong with your brain. We all just learn differently, and they might not be teaching that specific concept in a way that is easy for you, and maybe even a lot of your classmates can understand. Okay. So share with them the way that you learn best, have them reteach you specific parts, explain to them, repeat back to them how it works so they can make sure that you're understanding. Okay, and honestly, trust me, they will greatly respect you for this effort. I loved it when students came to me and asked specifically for help. And let me tell you, all my cares and concerns went away. I wasn't worried about everything else I had to do. I was 100% focused on this one student and connecting with them to make sure that they were successful. This is why we become teachers, is for you to be successful. Okay. Also, try the free tutoring resources that are found on Reflecting Inward Life Coaching's website. You got a glimpse of it just a minute ago. Let me go back to it really quickly. Let me share my screen. And I will show you really quickly where that is. Okay, we were just here. From home, we went to free resources. We clicked on career exploration. And right under internships and apprenticeships, you have academic assistance and tutoring. And I'd really tried to find all the resources that I could find, and I'll keep adding them as I find them. Resources that potentially could be free. Okay. So right here at the top here, Google YMCA near me or Boys and Girls Club near me, because they have free tutoring as a part of their programs. Okay. Khan Academy is free. Schoolhouse World by Khan Academy is free. IXL is free. And they even have testing to see where you are in a subject, and then they build from where you are. Okay. I like the idea of Schoolhouse World because there are individuals your age or slightly older, peers that are tutoring you. that are helping you, who have shown that they understand a concept, and then they're helping you, which I think is phenomenal. Okay, just as a side note, just under that, we had college prep I mentioned before, selecting university and admissions essay preparation. That's also great for scholarship essay preparation. It can help you organize your thoughts for job interviews and such. And look at that, minimizing the cost of attendance and scholarship opportunities and a no tuition university. What? A no tuition university? Only a slight catch, but it's much cheaper than going to university. So check it out. Okay. Back to our list. Okay. So also consider searching on Google programs in your area that fit your career goals, and then attend their free events. So again, this is getting you into the mindset of those individuals, seeing if whether or not you feel comfortable in this, if it still intrigues you, you feel passionate about it. And it's where you meet people in that field, right? You could even just ask them, I really enjoyed this seminar. I'm really excited to contribute in this in that way. Do you know of any businesses or any companies that are already doing this that I can reach out to and potentially work with someday? And they may even offer to bring you on themselves, have further conversations. They could be your mentor. You don't know what's going to come of it, but see every opportunity as a chance to get your foot in the door and learn more and to guide you, bump you to where you ultimately want to be. Okay, so next, if you're over 16, consider getting an entry-level job in a job that's related to your career desire. And then, of course, search for free courses, seminars, community events that are related to your career interests that are happening in your area. And the last one I have here is asking a career expert about free education or experience opportunities in the community that you can engage in. And then even if it doesn't lead to an employment situation, you may still be able to add them as experience because they're experience to your college and job applications down the road. Okay, so tons of wonderful stuff here. I hope that you have enjoyed this series on my personal career profile. And I hope that if you have any questions, any concerns, anything that I can do to help you, please reach out. That's what I'm here for. I created this entire program specifically for you to be successful. So I believe in you. I know that you can reach your goals. I know that you can achieve your dreams. And I really look forward to hearing from you and seeing what you experience, what opportunities you have received, taken, and answering your questions to make sure that you can have all the opportunities that will help you be successful. You are loved, you are beautiful, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.